All right, this is a quick overview of vector addition. You'll see the vector addition that I'm going to do in the top left of the screen at 6 kilograms meters per second. What weird units. At negative 30 degrees and negative 14.14 kilograms meters per second at 45 degrees. First thing I'm going to do is just kind of give a visual representation of this. Don't forget that the negative on the angle means we go clockwise rather than counterclockwise, so we're still starting from right there. And then 6 kilograms meters per second at negative 30 would be roughly here-ish because that's negative 30. And then the negative on the magnitude, don't forget, flips the angle to be 180 degrees away. So since 45 is here-ish, or I should actually say, let's go ahead and back that up real quick, here-ish, there's 45. Negative 45, sorry, negative magnitude on that should go the exact opposite way right down here. And of course, the final answer, let's just use this color here, should be something like this, which we can see roughly in the second quadrant. Okay, so that's what it should roughly be. I'll call this, let's see here, go back to this, we'll call that vector A, call that vector B, and that will be our resultant, our final answer, or the sum of the vectors. So first thing I do on, this is again a basic overview, so if you just want it from scratch, here it is, and then I'll make another video that just kind of like shows shortcuts and the like. All right, so what you want to do is you want to take each vector and split it up into its x and y components. So we'll call this vector A, because I already got it labeled there. So AX is simply going to be 6 kilograms meters per second cosine of negative 30 degrees, and that should spit out about positive 5.2 kilograms meters per second x hat. And then the y component is the same thing again, kilograms meters per second sine of negative 30 degrees, and that should be negative 3 kilograms meters per second. And then we split the next one up into its components, bx, by, which should be 14.14 kilograms meters per second cosine of, all right, so you have options here. You can either go and put the negative still on it and put 45 degrees, or you can get rid of that negative right there and make that 225 or negative 135. I'm going to go ahead and go with the first one. So I'm going to leave it as a negative here. Sorry, negative right there. Oops, come on. There it is, negative right there, and just leave the 45 on that guy right there. And that's going to be negative 10 kilograms meters per second x hat, and then we get negative 14.14 kilograms meters per second sine of 45, and that should be negative 10 kilograms meters per second y hat. And you can see that I'm right because I get negative and negative on the x and the y. That's confusing. I get negative here, I get negative here, which means it should be down in the third quadrant. And then I get a positive x and a negative y, which means it should be down over here in the fourth quadrant right there. And then to get the total, I need to add all the x's. So add ax plus bx, you can plug those numbers in there. That should be negative 4.8 kilograms meters per second, and total y is going to be y plus y, or negative 13. All right, and then we need to get our totals, and our totals are taking this total x, there is the total x, okay, and this total y to get this final magnitude. So you can see I have an x and a y, I have a right triangle, so I'm going to go ahead and Pythagorean theorem. R is equal to x total squared plus y total squared square root. I'll let you plug these numbers in, but I already know the answer is 13.86 kilograms meters per second, and the angle is the inverse tangent of y over x. Has to be y over x. Ooh, screwed up here. I did not put my x hat and y hat on these, which potentially can lead to problems. So my bad. Okay, so x total should be the negative 13 y hat over the negative 4.8 x hat, and that will not spit out the right angle, because remember, the second quadrant and the third quadrant, the calculator screws up because it's going to cancel the negatives right there to give you in the first quadrant. So I need to get that angle, which is originally, what is that? It's originally 69.7, but I add the 180 to get the correct angle of 249.7 degrees. And that's quickly how to do a vector addition. We'll look at this again for the advanced problem.